I wanted to cover for this week's episode of Forward something that I think all of us might be thinking about, but without the presence of networking events or being able to see people in person or going to conferences, it feels like it's a really tough time to invest in our own professional development. And I think now with everyone, even thinking about themselves and their careers and, um, maybe even some uncertainty, it also feels like it's a time where that's an area where we can focus. And we have some time now on the weekends potentially, when we're doing some social distancing to do some professional development. And there are opportunities to do that online. So you don't need to be in person. You don't need to go to those big conferences in order to learn things, or to connect with people, or to find communities to connect with people. So for those of you in marketing operations and are thinking of, okay, how can I use this time to work on my professional development? But also, how can I do it in a way where I'm replacing maybe the typical resources that I normally had of like going to events, going to conferences, meeting with mentors face to face. And so I'm going to talk about, I think, 5 ways that you can do that just online. Um, so the first one that I think is really important is finding a community. And there's a lot of online resources for that. Um, you just need to find them. But luckily, one of the great parts about doing what we do and is we can find online resources to share ideas, find other people to connect with. And one great tool for that are Slack channels. So I'm going to share my screen throughout this and just give kind of some examples that you can do. So Slack channels are great. We have one for our own clients here at CS2. There's also one through Women in Revenue that I help manage and day to day. And then there's also some other great ones. One being the MOPros, so the Marketing Operations Pros Slack community. The MOPros.com is their website, and you can join that Slack community, and it's awesome. There's so many great marketing ops folks there, answering each other's questions, sharing ideas, and it's a great place for you to also just try and connect and meet with other marketing ops people. So Slack channels are great, and that's a great one to be a part of. There's a lot of really rich content there as well. And, just doing a quick Google search or asking people in your network, maybe what are some other Slack channels I can join? What are other communities I can join that have a digital presence? Like I said, Women Revenue is a great one for that. There's other marketing ops specific groups like Mocha that you can join that send out newsletters. But just finding your community where you can then get connected with other marketing ops pros is great. So that's the first one. Another thing that you can do online to boost your professional development is really just sharing your knowledge. A lot of the times we feel like we need to be an expert in something in order to share our ideas, and we can almost feel like a little bit of imposter syndrome. I know Charlie and I, we work with our clients each day. We know best practices, we consult, but even being able to share our ideas publicly felt a little bit foreign to us. And especially if you're an introvert, this might, hurt a little bit to do. But sharing your ideas can be in different formats. So that could be, creating articles on LinkedIn and sharing them to your profile, or having your own blog. Here I'm sharing my LinkedIn profile, and you can see like articles and activity that I've had, but also under your role, you can even share links to things. So links to podcasts, even, blog posts that I've done. Um, so it's great to show off your ideas there. Articles are awesome as well because people can comment on them. You can repost them other places. If you do have a blog, you can turn that to an article so you can have your content found in both places. And then just sharing on LinkedIn, sharing a post is a great way to share your ideas, but in a way that doesn't feel so arduous as like creating a blog or writing a blog post. But getting your ideas and your knowledge out there, one, it just further, instills that in your brain. One of the great parts about being a consultant is you're constantly, explaining your ideas or explaining how to do something. And, for the people on our team, documentation is great for them to do when they're just getting a handle on the best practices for how to do something. Even creating that documentation just further instills that in your head and makes it 100% clear as to what needs to be done. And so just getting your thoughts down, articulated, and put into a fashion that someone can understand helps you just remember them in general. And but is also great for potential employers in the future to see, anyone in your network to see that and see that you got the chops, marketing ops skills. So it's a great place on LinkedIn to share that. And then you can post those into those communities that you're a part of, those Slack channels. You post a great blog post, share it there. People might be interested. All of us are going and facing, the similar problems. So share your ideas. Don't be afraid to do it. A third thing, so with all the extra time that we have on our hands, training and certifications, could be something that you can do on the weekends. Now, some of you are balancing being a, homeschool teacher as well as trying to do your own job. So having the extra time to do certifications training, probably not the top of your list, but if you do have some extra time on the weekends, there's a lot of great resources online. Pardot has just all these training videos. The Marketo user groups or Marketo community has a lot of great training videos that you can go through. Getting certified through Salesforce. So actually signing up to Trailblazer. So if, learning Salesforce is something that you want to do, you can sign up for trailblazer.me, start your own learning program. You can get badges and points. I just built my profile today. I'm going to start doing some more advanced Salesforce training beyond just our normal marketing ops skills. And so that's a goal of mine for 2020. And some of our team members have already started doing that. So that's a great resource. And there's tons of certifications you can do online as well. I mean, you can get certified and it feels like almost any tool now. So if you want to be an expert in drift, you can get a certification for that. If you want to be an expert in demand base, you can get a certification, or just run through their expert kind of program, which is usually kind of similar to a certification. So a great thing to do to boost your professional development, learn a new skill. These are things that you would probably do at some of these bigger conferences, but do it in your own time. Or maybe talk to your employer about how you can maybe use a portion of like a stipend to support doing some online certification or training, and maybe even some hours on a Friday that you can do each week to support that. So certification and trainings is one of them. And fourth thing would be mentorship. So A lot of the time we think of mentors or mentorship just being something that you can only do one-to-one or in person with someone. And I think it feels a bit foreign for us to even try and seek out a mentor that isn't our boss. But a lot of times that is the best way to go. You know, having honest conversations in a mentorship relationship is key. And so, actually, through Women in Revenue, there's a mentorship program, and you can sign up by joining Women in Revenue, let them know you're interested, or going to the mentorship program page. And it's actually just about to be relaunched and having a tool behind that to support it. So support the matching of mentors. So you can be a mentor, or you can be a mentee. And being a mentor is just as great for professional development, because as you're guiding someone in their career, you're teaching them lessons that you're kind of reminding yourself. So I've found that mentorships that I've had where I'm the mentor, I learn just as much as I would if I'm getting, mentored by someone else. It's just a bit different. It's a bit more inward. You learn a lot of, revelations that you see in another person that you can apply to yourself. um, and so mentorship is key. And we have Zoom, we have any like web conferencing, we have FaceTime. There's you know no excuse why you can't just have a digital meeting for mentorship, instead of doing it one-to-one. Of course, one-to-one in person feels a bit more personal, but right now finding a mentor even or anywhere in the country is open to you when you have that format of video. So definitely check out Women Revenue if you are a woman, or if you're seeking out any other mentors. Those communities or Slack channels, putting out the word there, hey, I'm interested in mentoring someone, or I'm looking for a mentor that can help me, go into management, which is something that I think is a big step for someone, especially in marketing ops, where you're used to being an individual contributor. Now, how do you manage? And you might be surprised there are people who might be open to mentoring, and that can be either like a flash mentorship where you just meet them a few times about specific topics, or can be an ongoing relationship. So definitely great for career development. And then the last thing that I think is great for professional development online is just looking at any online resources or tools. So reading blog posts, subscribing to newsletters. As CS2, we love sharing content. I mean, this is one of them, but with the community, and we even have tools on our website. So if you go to our website under our downloads page, you can see that we have a ton of interactive tools there that you can use in your job. We have blog posts or guides about other marketing ops topics. And then we also have our forward video series, which this is a part of. And so there's a lot of great video resources, different blogs out there. Drift has a great blog, and videos out there. There's, other companies. There's so many for marketing ops that you can probably find. But maybe pick one, subscribe to it. If it can send it out weekly, kind of like Forward, it's a great way to just get your weekly dose of learning and getting into that habit, or creating a culture of learning for yourself, but also maybe even for your team, is great for professional development. And it's all something you can do online. So that's it. That's 5 ways that you can boost your professional development right now online. Sad that we can't have our great event season. I know a lot of that is turning to virtual events. So, another online resource where you can learn new things, and definitely attend those and support our, the companies in this space. And if you, have any other ideas, share them with me. And yeah, you know, use the time that we have now, and stay connected online. Don't miss out on those engagements that you can have with people. So hope this was useful.